Hi, my name's Joe. Joe Public, a normal run-of-the-mill Joe with a reasonable education who'd been brainwashed all his life into believing that the economy was far too complicated to understand. The truth is, it ain't. So what, in Joe Public terms, is the economy? In essence, it's a big pile of money sloshing about in people's pockets, bank accounts, in the cash registers, continually being exchanged for goods and services. It works a bit like this. Farmers raise cows, grow grass, buy some feed supplements and pay a few vet's bills and turn it into milk. They generate wealth by buying goods and services and employing people to add value to their land and cows, hopefully selling the products of their labour at a higher value. Someone who creates wealth, employs people, and at the same time makes a profit is of benefit to us all. But it is possible to generate profit without generating wealth or employing any people, and it's easy to confuse the two. Bankers, firemen, nurses, police officers and stockbrokers, for example, don't directly generate any wealth. However, these are necessary institutions that oil the wheels of the economy, and those creating wealth need to generate enough to also cover the cost of these people. So why is the economy in a mess? Let's say the average UK wage since the year 2000 has been £25,000, which was spent on food, consumer goods like cars, TVs, rent or mortgages and holidays, all things that make the money slosh around. Fine. But when there's high unemployment, the economy gets in a mess because fewer people have money to spend, so there isn't enough money sloshing about. It's simple enough. So why the difficulty fixing it? There are, in fact, two economies, not one. The second one is the political economy, the economy of power, of not upsetting the people who vote for you, of spending 2 years blaming everyone else and 3 years tinkering at the edges, and the biggest con of all politicians play this game while claiming to be fixing the real economy. Mrs. Thatcher started the mess by introducing privatisation, and subsequent governments have supported it. We were told it would create more efficient companies. Well, it probably did, but at the same time government killed real wealth generation by sanctioning a culture of profit and greed, which has drastically reduced the amount of money sloshing around. So did the banks cause it? Well, the answer is yes and no. Within the economy, there are non-wealth generating institutions managed by very clever, well-paid people. The chiefs of police, the bankers, the heads of the National Health Service and pension funds. And while none of them generate any wealth, some of them people pay themselves massive bonuses on top of their salaries, and it wasn't the police. Don't be fooled by the idea that a bank makes millions. It makes nothing, creates no wealth. It is a parasite, profiting from overcharging or someone else's loss. People like Fred the Shred squirreled away fat bonuses and share options, all under the gaze of successive political leaders. Since the year 2000, politicians have allowed the well-paid executives that were the guardians of our hard-earned wealth, banks, stockbrokers and pension funds, and awarded themselves almost £300 billion in bonuses. That's a bigger pile than I can draw on this page. Understand this clearly. Just a £1 million banker's bonus could have been employing 40 people who would buy cars, washing machines, holidays, pay tax and rent, and would not be unemployed. Nearly £300 billion has been removed from the economy and is sitting in the bank accounts of some very greedy people. It could have employed almost 1 million more people for the past 13 years, with £25 billion more sloshing around to loan to small businesses and house buyers. So what's needed to fix it? All politicians are responsible for this eaten mess. Like a broken record, David Cameron tries to brainwash us into believing that we're all in it together. Yet more than the total national debt has been extracted from the economy in the past 13 years by a very small group of fat cats. Well, if we're all in it together, take it back off 'em. Convert the Bank of Scotland and what's left of Lloyd's into a state bank. Loan them the money so it will get lent to wealth-generating businesses and house buyers. Split the investment arms out of banks into totally unrelated businesses, and if they fail, let them go bust. Make it illegal for a banker or their family to own voting shares in the bank they run. Ban share options for directors of non-wealth generating institutions. Stop the importation of junk by making the warranty period on consumer goods 2 years and not 1. Ban trading of shares within 24 hours of them being purchased. Tax bonuses at non-wealth generating institutions at 90%. And let the fat cats go abroad. We don't need the skills or greed. Please, don't insult our intelligence by claiming it's more complicated than this. That's simply bollocks, 'cause it ain't. Now, think about it and share this with like-minded people.